Happy Christmas week, and we begin this holiday week. It's like the week, and then it leads into the new year. So today, chance is going to favor the prepared mind, and we're going to use my new deck. It's a fairy deck in honor of my fairy garden at home. And burning this looks like it's a little bit of juniper. Always makes me think of wintertime too. I don't know why, but here's some juniper blessing our deck. This is called the Fae Whispers Fairy, and I always like to try out decks, new decks, and I'll order decks. Okay, that one keeps sticking up, so we're gonna go with that one. Whoa, okay, so it's a little talkative. Hope everybody is enjoying this weather. It is, I heard down on the plains back home that it's really windy, and here in the city, I like it. The weather is really pretty nice. Okay, any final words? Okay, still going and going and going, I guess, like the Energizer Bunny. But at my homestead in up in Caddo County, or down in Caddo County, I have an area that I'm making a fairy garden. So I came across these fairy whisper cards, and I said, I think I'm gonna get them. Try them out. Okay, alright, so I have a kind of thick stack here, so I would probably make sure you grab your drink or your snack, whatever you're doing, and we're going to do them in rows of 3, and there's quite a few cards we're using today. There's a lot of cards. Okay, so let's take a look at the first card, and it's the Ancient Ruins. It says, history holds wisdom, learn from the past. And immediately the message that came to me was, leopards don't change their spot. So even though people or situations can claim to be brand new, I'm going to say on this one, they haven't learned anything from past mistakes. Alright, so that's the energy coming in. Okay, so our obstacle here is that firefly dance, and that's about celebrating life's moment. Let your spirit shine like a star. And I'm getting, you need to go ahead and let the holiday be the holiday. So it's kind of like, just here's your obstacle. You got to sit tight and let things kind of happen the way they're going to happen. Just let the holiday be the holiday. Don't crash a holiday. And I'm, like, well, depends on what's going on, is what I'm thinking. Okay, and then our help card, Magical Mushrooms. And this is about embracing your intuition, trust, phase, guidance on your journey. And I'm going to say, for those of you that practice in a magical sense, whatever way you want to use that phrase, I'm going to say what I personally believe on that is that you can set the stage. You can set the idea, you can set out that message of what you expect or how you want things to roll. And when you do that, you kind of gain that ground control on how things roll out. So it's like kind of saving the day, even though you're having to bite your tongue. on that day. All right, so let's look and see where we're leading into this. And that's first, or the second row of the first card is the Leprechaun's Pot of Gold. It says, seek out a hidden fortune. A leprechaun's hidden fortune favors the bold and the lucky. All right, favors the bold and the lucky. And what I get on here is score. I think you managing the situation in such a manner, you actually come out, what I'm going to say, ahead. And then we have the rainbow's end. This is what's playing the obstacle as this Christmas week develops or evolves. And then this is, and I'm going to say on this one, you know, that prepare for the worst but hope for the best kind of cliche. This is what I'm feeling on here, is hoping for the best but preparing for the worst. So it's like, it's not going to be anything earth-shattering to be in a catch-22. It's, you know, you're kind of darned if you do and you're darned if you don't, but let's soften the blow. Because, hey, chance favors a prepared mind, but you've already set up a plan B or a backup for anything that might interfere with the smooth rollout of the holiday. And then our help card is the fairy harp, and it says, let music lift your soul and find harmony in life's melodies. And I'm like, listen to that music, have it playing in the background. Music, you know, soothes the savage beast, and music, you know, can often say things that we don't really want to talk about, you know what I mean? Music can relay a message or change the way that somebody sees something going on. Alright, so the leprechaun's luck. So this little deck looks like it's more about leprechauns. I do see some fairies in there, but I've seen a lot of leprechaun stuff. So, leprechaun luck. Embrace good fortune. Trust in abundance is within your reach. So if you have been this is kind of like asking you to start looking at things with a value. And that also includes, because when I'm looking at him, I'm also getting, it also includes your reflection. So when you're looking in that mirror, it's important for you, speaking of reflection right there, that's an obstacle card, and that's about, you know, you trying to find some tranquility. Sometimes you just got to step off in an odd hour at an odd time and give that moment. I love full moons, and I'm like, you know, that sounds like a fun thing to do on a full moon. I don't know about January, but I can see myself being out in the nature on a full moon and being embraced by that light and just kind of like chilling, relaxing, letting things go. It's an important thing. And then that last card in this line is the balance cross, and I really feel like you're going to have a lot of harmony through this. It's not going to be as bad as anticipated. In fact, you make things roll in such a beautiful way that it's like a no harm, no foul, and people are grateful for that. Starting out 2026, it's really important to kind of think about what kind of person do you want to, what kind of person do you want to develop or evolve into, and where are you going with that energy? And so that's kind of like the last little line, and then I've got a final card for the final part of it. But this is about where are we taking this energy, because obviously getting through this week very smoothly when things potentially could have had some yuck going on to it. You deserve a little bit of a break, and you also deserve to have a little insight. So where's all of this energy going to lead you into for 2026? Because we have the new year right behind it. This first line here is the Enchanted Garden. And this is tend to your soul and let your spirit bloom with new growth. So this is about a lot of self-care as well as a lot of self-love, recognizing who you are, recognizing your life purpose, and finding peace in what you do. The silver birch is going to be that, what I'm going to call, challenge in it. And this is find grounding. Root yourself in the beauty of the present. Often when we start looking at 2026, we're already focused at the end of 2026 and where we want to be. And that's great and great and awesome. But it's also important in here that we establish our sacred space. We establish our root in for 2026 so that we're not caught up in worrying about what I'm going to call December of 2026 when we should be enjoying the moment of today. That's that silver birch, and it's reminding us, hey, get back into the moment, get into the day. Okay, now this is an obstacle here, and on this particular deck, this particular reading, I didn't clarify up or down on through there. So I'm going to flip it like this and look at it. And this is Fae friendship. Okay, it says nurture your connections, find strength in bonds of trust and love. Okay, and I'm going to say this is probably one of the most positive, uplifting decks, even when the message doesn't really quite come across that way. Southern Belle magic in a fairy world. When I'm looking at this particular card, and if you remember from just a moment ago, it was upside down. Okay, so maybe I'm a little biased, but I don't think so. I'm going to say in here, this is a focus for you to nurture your connections and strengthen in bonds of trust. And this is for those relationships that right now at this time, that there's a lot of synergy. I'm going to say that the sub-message that I get out of this is that it is so permissible to put your focus on what does bring synergy or what does connect, that it is perfectly acceptable for you to let go of those things that you cannot trust. Okay, this is, I'm feeling in this, there's a lot of, you have to have in your relationships, in your friendships, in your connections, it's important for you to have total trust between you, amongst yourselves, that there has to be this synergy working. And if they are not a part of that synergistic bond, I'm getting this drift in here that it is totally okay for you to let that go. All right, so we're kind of looking at how you're being a peacekeeper, you're making things flow in a beautiful way, and now you're being, in a sense, challenged to let go of what is not synergistic. And where does this all lead us up into until next week? And I'm going to show you the very last card, and it is Cleansing Rain. I'm kind of giving a little reinforcement to that last card we just looked at, and this is Let Go and Renew. The rain washes away the old, and that message is really pretty strong. It is okay to let go of what is no longer synergistic. Not always something that we like to hear, because sometimes we just love because we just love, but sometimes it's okay to cut those cords. Hope you enjoyed today's reading, and do me a favor, love this video, comment something cool, and don't forget to share. Have a beautiful day.